Johnny Depp sues his ex-wife Amber Heard for defamation after Amber publicly claimed that Johnny was physically and emotionally abusive. Johnny has already taken the stand and he's been questioned by his lawyer, and it's continuing over the next couple days. By the time you watch this video, Amber's lawyer may have already asked Johnny questions, and I'm going to do a video on that as well. But this video focuses on the first part of the direct examination Johnny did. And direct examination is when he's questioned by his own lawyer. Hey, I'm Byron Brown, also known as the anti-lawyer lawyer. I'm the anti-lawyer lawyer because the way I speak and look is not like your normal lawyer. I'm still a lawyer that's collected millions of dollars for his clients, and I've been featured on CNN and other television programs. Additionally, I've tried over 30 jury trials. Every lawyer has a purpose and a plan when they try a case, and more specifically when they ask questions. Johnny's lawyer will try to prove through question and answer that Johnny is similar to the average citizen, that he's sympathetic, that he's credible, and lay the groundwork to soften the impact that something negative may have on Johnny in this trial. Now, many of you may remember, in December of 2018, Amber Heard penned an op-ed that was featured in Washington Post. In this article, she makes reference to becoming a public figure representing domestic abuse. In 2016, the same year Amber and Johnny got divorced, the allegations of abuse became front and center. As an example, here's the cover from People's Magazine, June 13, 2016, with the headline, "Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, Inside Their Toxic Marriage." As a result of these allegations, mainly stemming from the Washington Post article, Johnny was subject to public ridicule, and he alleges that he's been dropped by studios for various movie roles, including his very popular role as Jack Sparrow in the Pirates of the Caribbean Disney series. As such, Johnny lost money and respect. This is the basis of Johnny's lawsuit against Amber Heard. Before Johnny testified, various witnesses testified. And I'm going to go into that testimony later at another time in another video, but I believe it's proper to start with the testimony of the main character, Johnny Depp.
Good afternoon, Mr. Depp.
Good afternoon.
Can you please tell the jury why you're here today?
Did I myself reach the point of striking Miss Heard in any way, nor have I ever struck any woman in my life. Her accusations had sort of permeated the industry and then made its way through media and social media, became quite a global let's say, quote unquote, fact, if you will. And since I knew that there was no truth to it whatsoever,
This is important.
I felt it my responsibility to
Groundwork for his lawsuit.
to stand up not only for myself in that instance, but stand up for my children.
This is the first question Johnny was asked by his lawyer when he took the stand. His answer is much more long-winded than this clip. We combined 3 of different clips. Now, what's important is Johnny testified that the Washington Post article 6 years ago really prompted him to file this lawsuit. Additionally, he references it for doing this for his children, due to the embarrassment and abuse his children were facing from the public. Additionally, it answers the question right out of the gate. Johnny testifies that he never struck Amber. This testimony answers 2 questions that were more likely than not on the top of the jury list of questions they wanted answered. Why did he sue Amber? And did he ever hit Amber?
She had the ability to be as cruel as anyone can be.
Here, Johnny's lawyer is questioning about his mother, specifically getting into how his mother was abusive and violent. Now, every line of questioning a lawyer asks in court is for a specific purpose. Now, some lawyers get super long-winded, which I think is ridiculous because you lose the jury. And in this case, I believe Johnny's lawyer went into this line of questioning too much, and I only showed a partial clip. The reason is she's getting into this line of questioning so the jury understands Johnny, more specifically, Johnny's behavior. There's a video circling the internet that shows Johnny slamming cabinet doors, cursing, and generally being angry. These are not super uncommon in any sort of relationship or marriage, But getting into someone's childhood shows the jury that Johnny is human. Yes, he's a very famous celebrity, but at the end of the day, he faces the same trials and tribulations that everybody else does. And those trials and tribulations that we experience as children live on through our remaining years of our life. And then when we become an adult, we keep battling these, meaning slamming cabinet doors, swearing, and being angry was what Johnny knew when he was growing up. The hope is this softens the blow when the jury hears and watches Johnny being angry, violent, and using profanity.
And then the most that he would do is he would punch a wall.
Johnny witnessed his dad punching a wall, maybe 2 or 3 times over the course of his life. This shows that the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Sure, there may be a video of Johnny punching a wall or throwing an object or slamming a door, but this behavior was what he was normalized to at a very young age. Moreover, Johnny goes on to testify that his dad was never abusive. So the theory goes, Johnny slamming doors or punching inanimate objects is something he learned, much like he learned from his dad to not be physically abusive.
Years later, where I asked him what really happened, how did it happen when I was older, and he told me the story.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Sure.
Objection there. We never get the answer to this question because Amber's lawyer objects. And this is very common in trials where lawyers make objections, they approach the bench or the judge, and so no one else can hear their discussion. Now, so we didn't hear the discussion, so we don't know what the judge said. However, when the questioning resumes, Johnny's lawyers asks a different question. So that means that the judge sustained the objection, meaning the judge told Johnny's lawyer to ask a different question. Now, what's interesting to me is that the question lent itself to Johnny telling a story about his father, specifically the real reason why his father left his mother. I am assuming that what Johnny was about to say was something to the effect that his father left the situation because his father was concerned that the relationship may become more toxic, or maybe even that his father was worried that someday he may lose his temper and hit Johnny's mother. Again, the intent in this line of questioning is to show the behavior the jury will see from Johnny through video and testimony is behavior he learned from his father. So if Johnny was able to answer the question, he might have answered it in the manner in which I said, meaning the father left before he became more violent, meaning Johnny would also leave a relationship before it became violent. The hope is to support an opinion or a belief that Johnny would not become physically violent like Amber has alleged.
A friend of mine who happens to be, he was an actor, less known then than he is now, Nicolas Cage. And I was filling out job applications at any, video stores, clothing stores, anything, just to
Nick Cage is
be able to pay the rent. And Nick Cage said, why don't you meet my agent, because I think you're an actor. I think you could be an actor.
It's very interesting that Nicolas Cage got Johnny into the movie industry. Now, this line of questioning goes on to talk about Johnny getting cast in The Nightmare on Elm Street and then cast in 21 Jump Street. He further references 21 Jump Street as a part of his life where he fought being a quote-unquote teen idol and to use his platform to help the youth. Now, this part is interesting because Johnny's lawyer is using this testimony in hopes that it helps the jury like Johnny. What I mean by this is if a jury believes that Johnny is a benevolent movie actor that helps out the youth, then it is less likely that he would physically or emotionally hurt his wife.
What I remember, it was as if she was too good to be true.
Amber was just too good to be true. She treated Johnny very well. When Johnny came home from work, he would sit down on the couch and Amber would take off his boots and bring him a glass of wine. She was very loving. The line of questioning turns to reveal a little bit of the darker side of Amber. One day, Johnny gets home from work and he takes off his boots himself, and she tells Johnny that's her job. Johnny's lawyer is showing how Johnny was truly in love with Amber. To Johnny, she was simply too good to be true. The idea being, if that's truly what Johnny believed, why would he ever physically or emotionally hurt Amber? Further, why would she get so upset with him taking his boots off himself? Maybe because she's a control freak, maybe as she gets upset over the slightest inconveniences. Johnny's lawyer is setting the table to show that Amber is a loose cannon, cannot be trusted, and was the real problem in their relationship.
How would you describe your relationship with Whitney?
Great. I mean, fantastic. I called her sis. I loved her, you know.
Johnny loved Amber's sister, Whitney. In fact, Johnny called her sis. At some point in the trial, there will be testimony and or evidence given about Whitney. She might even testify herself. But from this line of questioning, that testimony and evidence will be negative towards Johnny. Johnny's lawyer is setting the table to show that Johnny has no ill will towards Whitney. So why would Whitney say anything ugly about Johnny? Money? Fame?
Have you ever done any drugs with Whitney?
Yes.
Did there come a time when Whitney moved into the penthouses that you owned at the Eastern Columbia building?
Yes.
This goes on to talk about Johnny snorting some cocaine with Whitney on 2 to 3 occasions. And he allows Whitney to move in to one of his penthouses in the Eastern Columbia building, this thing's nice, and live there rent-free for 2 years. Again, painting Johnny as this nice guy, the generous guy, the sympathetic guy. Yes, Johnny has the means to do all this for people, and it probably didn't make much of a dent in his pocketbook. But he didn't have to do it. The fact that he took care of Amber's sister to the point of giving her a rent-free penthouse for multiple years hardly is something that a monster who would abuse his wife would do. She's doing a good job. She's painting Johnny as the good guy and Amber as the bad girl. In these defamation cases, it comes down to credibility. If the jury finds Johnny likable, generous, charitable, it is less likely that they will believe that Johnny's guilty of these heinous acts that Amber alleges Johnny to have done.
Could you please just tell them about your history of substance use?
Certainly. So I'd bring my mom her nerve pill. I would walk away, and I would take one myself.
This is important. This sets the table for the drug abuse allegations that Amber has made. It shows that from a very early age, Johnny had his mother who took nerve pills. As a young man, Johnny, innocently enough, would observe his mother calming down after she took these pills. So Johnny wanted to calm down as well. He took the pills and they worked. This shows that Johnny's drug behavior is learned. It's not the product of a crazy celebrity life, but a product of a young boy who's now an adult, who never learned how to deal with his emotions, but instead masked his emotions through drug use.
Kids who would say, let's party. Let's go party. I want to party. I've never used the word party in my life. I've never taken any substance for a party.
You see him look to the jury there? You know, that's important to make that eye contact. It comes across credible. Now, this line of questioning ties into the line where we heard before this clip of Johnny's lawyer showing that Johnny, yeah, he's done drugs, but he's not doing an insane amount of drugs. He was not abusing drugs, which many people would believe because that's typically what you hear when you hear about drugs and celebrities in the same sentence. We learned that Johnny had years of sobriety. This isn't groundbreaking testimony, but it's very important to show that Johnny did not abuse drugs like Amber alleges. Yes, he may have used drugs, but he didn't abuse drugs.
The characterization of my substance, quote unquote, substance abuse that's been delivered by Ms. Heard is grossly embellished.
This is as direct forward as it gets with questions. Johnny clearly states that the substance abuse allegations by Amber are grossly embellished. He talks about periods of sobriety as this questioning moves on. And again, Johnny's lawyer is sending a message that drugs are not an issue.
Mr. Depp, is there any substance that you've ever been addicted to?
Yes.
And what is that?
Roxycodone or Roxycontin.
All the previous lines of questions relate to drug use. They culminate in this line of questioning regarding oxycodone and Roxycontin pills. This is the explanation for why Johnny may appear drowsy or out of sorts in videos, or maybe witnesses testify that those observations are theirs when they watch him. Well, during the fourth Pirates of the Caribbean, Johnny injured his back by throwing a chair. This required him, pursuant to his doctor's orders, to take opiates. Johnny was very specific, likely because his lawyer coached and coached and coached him to say he was addicted, but only in the sense that if he didn't take pills, he would suffer withdrawals, meaning Johnny's body was addicted to the pills, but Johnny wasn't addicted to the pills like a normal addict. I think this is a very poor explanation, but at the same time, I think it's the only explanation Johnny's legal team can provide. Opiates are a major problem in this country. I believe his lawyer is using the major national crisis of opiates to lay the foundation to show Johnny is just like everybody else. Once his doctor prescribed him pain pills, it was tough for him to kick the habit. Much like the trials and tribulations of Johnny's childhood, Johnny is no different than any other red-blooded American.
You don't have to take your clothes off. You don't have to take your top off. You don't have to, everything's cool. And she was appreciative.
This is clearly meant to make Johnny appear like the knight in shining armor, coming in on horseback to save Amber from a nude scene. It is likely evidence will come out that Amber is a private person, maybe especially when it comes to nudity. And Johnny was able to deliver that as her knight in shining armor. How can a knight in shining armor that has the power to preclude a young lady from being nude in a movie be the same person that would physically and emotionally abuse somebody? Overall, I think Johnny's legal team did a good job. I think they did the best they could. Like all of us, Johnny has skeletons in the closet. Like many Americans, Johnny likely suffers from addiction and childhood trauma. Videos have and will be shown by Johnny losing his temper and saying some ugly things. But we all do that. It's important for the jury to believe that Johnny is a good person. It's important for them to believe Johnny is like every other American. If they believe these things about Johnny, then they won't believe Amber's allegations. If they do not believe Amber's allegations, then Johnny wins. I'm going to do more of these videos of the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. And like I said, Johnny's lawyer questioned him more, and I'm going to do another video about that line of questioning, but then I'm going to do another video when Amber's lawyer cross-examines him. So I'm sure there's going to be much more fireworks to come. As always, I appreciate your support. Please subscribe to my channel. Thanks. Peace.